Gonna be playing blitz and rapid chess here against viewers. What's up, guys? Arsenal fan. You submitted a game last week. That's weird. I totally missed that one. But if what you're telling us is true, I will add you to the list, man, for this week. I guess I can trust you, even though you were the only one who beat me in the simul. Very suspicious that Arsenal is the only one who beat me in my simul yesterday. I don't know. I don't trust him. But I guess we'll let it ride. Under investigation. As Bob would have said. Rest in peace, Bob. Wherever you are. We almost miss you. In a weird sort of way. So, I don't know which way Bob went. Down or up. Probably down. That would have been his preference. But seriously, we're going to be playing some blitz and rapid chess here. Welcome, Masturbate. Bang! 1800, 3-0, no. 1930, casual warm-up game. 3+2, MacGyver. The London system with bishop f4 on move 2. Inaccurate. He knows this. He's prepared. MacGyver is always prepared. You're just going to give me that bishop? Yum. Yum, yum. Bishops are delicious. Alright, let's take it. People are, it's just, you know, we're living in a kind of disposable society. That's why they don't care about bishops. Knight, bishop, whatever. It's all the same. Hey, my beginner book said they're equal. Give me some dark squares. What am I going to do? Break it open with e6? Yes. Yes. A very nice Benoni. Never met a Benoni I didn't like. Said at Arsenal. What are you guys doing here at the same time? Why does everybody's name have to start with A? You know how hard that is for me. Looks like a Benoni. Bishops. See, this. I'm not even going to get started with the illness. The illness of online chess. Okay, it's a 3-2 game, so the pace has to be a little bit faster, but still, come on. Take your time, make some good moves. He's got the 2 knights, though. Little known fact, 2 knights are better than bishop and knight. Now, he just gave me the exchange. Questions remain about White's appreciation for material advantages. He likes the exchange. Giving the exchange. Minor exchange, major exchange. Now I'm up the exchange. What is my engine? My engine says that it's -10. No. It's over. Of course he shouldn't trade down. It's good I had an easy game to warm up, though. I don't feel awake. My coffee didn't do anything. We're out of good coffee. I had to drink that terrible Seattle's Best stuff. Ugh. It's nasty. Nasty. Come on, dude. Just resign at this point. Next game. Oh my god, Folgers. I mean, maybe the British Folgers is better. Is that like originally Mrs. Folgers? What is it? Is that a British thing, Folgers? Maybe it's so old. It's so old we brought it over from like the Mayflower. Folgers, instant crystals. This guy's obviously won a lot of lost positions in his life. Otherwise, he would give up here. Folgers is pretty bad. The instant coffee. But that's all you got. That's all you got. What can you do, man? You can't all drink like snob coffee. So. I'm loving it. He fought the brave fight here. I guess it doesn't matter. I was hoping to do this so I can just start going in and eat all of his pawns without him being able to touch mine. Well, some people just, they don't resign by principle, but I think it's a waste of time. You know, we only live like an average of like, I don't know, 70 years. And if you think about it, a large portion of that could be playing on in lost positions. There's just no time for that. You're going to spend like a year of your life playing on in lost positions. Imagine what you could do, the constructive use you could put to that time. There's a will, there's a way. He'll sneak in g6 just when I'm about to push my pawn. This is when I get the temptation to start torturing people. Now he resigned just when I... Juicebox Wizard. And he's a subscriber. Wow. What's up, man? Good morning. Oh, my arm fell off. My arm fell off the table. Basically, after playing on... Yeah, I'm not going to play him again. Not going to go on and on. Zen Chess, 2174. And Jorvi. I've got to check and see if you're European or American, and then we can decide. Welcome to my stream, guys. It took me 15 years to start pronouncing the European J. All right. Javier. So, Hjorfi and Zen Chess. I live in Europe. Thus, my pronunciation is perfect. No, seriously. J is a tricky letter. Zen Chess. The European. Folgers. The original European coffee. I'm feeling like kind of drunk. I don't think I slept enough last night. Not drunk from alcohol, like drunk from sleep deprivation. E4, C5. But it's good. We can be a little silly. Juicebox Wizard. You're up to no good. Medjlebesh. Cold cherry soup. Very common Hungarian recipe. But only in the summer. All right, you don't drink that you don't have soup like fruit soup in the winter. Here it is, the D6. I know this is a bad move. Mr. Coffee's not even here. You guys are up to no good. It's not a huge thing, but they do soups out of cold fruit soups, summer. Medjlebesh, it's like sour cherry or cherry soup, the main one. I don't really go to places that serve that, but it is kind of a standard food. The C4. Totally random, Magnus Carlsen-esque. What's up, guys? Thailand. Are you in Thailand now? Is that the deal? Have you been there for long? You're like, in Thailand, we add coconut milk. He's now authority. Authority on Thailand. Just a few days. Alright. He's mongering. Castles G6. Mongering a lot. You had someone play Bishop E5 in the Ross Limo in a league game. The Ross Limo is a serious problem. My whole repertoire with D6 is close to toast. It's going to be a huge project to learn to play like G6. I've never played it, and I don't like E6 that much. So those are your two options, really. I mean, supposedly knight f6 is a move. I've never liked that either. I just have to learn to play g6, but it's a massive amount of learning. Kind of a daunting theoretical task. You meant to say c4 in a Ross Limo. Well, it's not critical. Well, anything sound when you're making reasonable moves, like, yeah, c4. They do it in the bishop e5 check Sicilian. If you look at lines like bishop e5 check, trade bishops and play c4. It's also something in the check-over variation with queen takes d4 and all that. Just, you can do the Marazzi wherever you can, basically. I don't know. I always think it's kind of weird. It's like you're playing the Marazzi without the bad bishop, which should be good. Kind of should be good for white, but on the other hand, anytime you play a space position and you're trading pieces, it's kind of contradictory to the general plan. It's a paradox, basically. I'm used to playing the Marazzi anyway, so this is fine for me. Black is equal. Should I take on b5? Does he take with a pawn? It really shouldn't be good, should it? Let's see. If I play a6, he takes on d7. I take with the queen. He takes on f6, bishop f6, then knight d5 with a double threat of knight takes f6 and knight b6. Black is okay. A million ways to equalize, but no way to get an advantage. Maybe it's not that easy to equalize, truthfully. Bishop on b5 does look kind of weird. It's even tempting to avoid the exchange and go like bishop e6 here. I know this seems weird. But not as weird as his bishop on b5. I had a dragon last week against the WIM where I played, a knight d5, bishop d5, and tried to play with bishop and knight versus two bishops, hoping that her white squared bishop was really bad. And it was really bad, but the problem was that white had so much space, it sort of compensated. This is exactly what I'm talking about. The same position, basically, or similar to what I had. Except hers was like hemmed in on b3. This one could escape back to e2, where it feels like it would be like kind of centralized actually. Although here I could try to trade the dark square bishops. Let's see. What if I play... Actually, what should I play first? A6 is going to create some serious problems. I don't know. There's some interesting options here. What I want to do is trade the dark square bishops somehow, and then have knight versus bad bishop. No problem for a computer. It's a goatee, not a mustache. I don't do the plain mustache. Never. All right. You're entitled to your opinions. I think I look like Johnny Depp, but it's controversial. All right. Exactly. There's been a lot of controversy about it. I don't want to go there now. We're probing. Now, in my other game against the WIM last week, she took back on d5 in a similar position with the e-pawn. It was a very different position, though. If white takes back with the e-pawn, you have sort of pressure down the e-file. In the symmetrical type position like we get here, Pirates all died by the time they're 40, right? Arsenal fan? I'm 39, so we're getting close. Wonder what the longest living pirate was. Captain Bluebeard. Let's trade us some dark square bishops. I'm gonna trade me some dark square bishop. We could wait a minute. Why don't you just trade the dark square bishop on f6 and play the opposite color bishop endgame? Pretty bad one. I'll be the old pirate. The old pirate type. Needs a body double. Pirate Ponda. You get bored with the same thing. The beard looked terrible. I had to get rid of the beard, but I was bored. So, very, very greedy move here. Queen b3. Mr. Materialistic. That could be bad for your health, Zen Chess. Survey says knight takes e4. Knight takes e4. I'm on a video game trip. I've been talking about Wheel of Fortune yesterday. Knight takes e4. Bishop takes g7. Knight d2. There are other interesting lines too, like queen c5 check. King h1, knight f2 check. Takes. Somebody has two bishops hanging. Oh my god. Everything is bad for white. LPDO. Be careful with pirates. You know, playing in this chess tournament last week, I think it did something for me. You know, even though I lost 5 rating points, or rather sold them for $5, what was it, $15 a piece, I seem to play better in the simul. I mean, I've played a few team games here or there, but the first concentrated period of playing chess, like since 2 years. If it works. It's an art, not a science. Name the movie. After knight d2, queen c3, there is a problem for white because I just chop his queen off. Alright. We have a problem. Nope. Give me that. Alright, so f7 is a target. We should be good to go. Never hurts to be careful, though. It might be necessary to play rook f8, although I'm not really thrilled about it. You know what? My b7 pawn's hanging. That's good. Rook c2, queen f3. He has two solid ways to defend the g2 pawn. Bishop h3 or queen f3. And I don't think it's going to change the fact that my b7 pawn's hanging. Maybe you're right, though. Maybe I could play rook c2 and then... Well, the problem is queen f3. But then again, the b7 is not an issue. I mean, it's a move. I guess I can play rook c2. But at the end of the day, I'm going to have to respond to the threat against f7 no matter what. It would appear. e5. The ultimate queen square. There's got to be some sort of tricky thing he can do. Slightly lacking counterplay here. Looks pretty solid, though. I've got to avoid the temptation to, like, put a rook on c8. Noisy board is new here. Say hello. Hello. I guess I should just sack the exchange on c3. No brainer. Then I can put a rook on c8. Oh, dude. This is a little bit dangerous. That's not an improvement, really. Is he gonna sack? Let him sack his rooks. Whatever. Yeah. All right. Bam. Whatever. Whatever. Now if I take, I mean, it should be good enough, right? No, no, no. No, 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 no. No, no, no. No, no, no. Tactics for advanced players. Knight takes e4. We're taking challenges according to the challenges I've got here. But we don't do rated. I'm sorry. Assassino. Assassinode. Assassinode. I guess it's like an assassin or something. My Spanish is... It's there, but it's very limited. Should have kept up. Alright, please re-challenge me, Mr. Rated. Rated 1 and Rated 2. I'm supposed to play the subscribers, but whatever. Alright. We'll give you a break. Yorvi was the only one here. We're supposed to play the other guys first, but whatever. We'll play him. Welcome. Welcome, new person. We're normally taking subscribers in order, and then the other people. Yes, bishop g4 is a move. I'm always tempted to play knight e5 here, but I don't think it really does anything, you know, so you might as well not even bother. Actually, I've played c4 quite a bit. It's a very strange situation there, Juicebox. He passed away, ironically, after all those jokes, you know, that he kept making about people dying and stuff. It's just really... I was just kind of thinking how weird it is whether he went up or down, you know. Trump was joking about people going down. I think he'd be more likely to go in that direction. Oh, death can be funny, right? We have to make light of it a little bit. Lighten the mood. Yeah, put it on the dark web. But no, his mom told me she was going to donate all of his worldly possessions to the stream. Bishop e7. So what's up with this? Usually black always plays some sort of c6 early on, so it seems like we should try to pounce here. Knight c6. Is that a thing? You're missing some context. Yeah, it's inside story. Don't worry about it. Don't even lose any sleep over it. Inside edition. Will help you improve your reading comprehension. Limited facts. I feel like I lost some sleep. I didn't sleep well last night. All right. It's good to see Juicebox here, though. Even though the world has lost Bob, we still have Juicebox. A lot of people seem to be ghosting me lately. Chess students particularly. It's very disturbing, you know. I mean, I understand if you're like a girlfriend or whatever. You ghost your boyfriend or whatever you want, you know, but you just don't ghost your chess coach. People just keep disappearing. Bishop f4. Black's pretty solid. Solid is as solid does. Never did watch Forrest Gump from end to end. Only bits and pieces. Ghosting. Like disappearing without a trace. You'd think my lifestyle would be much more high risk. I would think so too. Well, yeah, I mean, I think you're lucky to still be with us based on what you've said. We've all had our run-ins with danger. I had a fire escape in France with my name on it once. Managed to survive, but we've got to get lucky. Castellani, we just talked about you like last week. Yeah, of course. Get back into needing a coach. Well, at least you don't disappear like some people. Even if you stop taking lessons, you would at least like tell me, "Hey, man, I'm gonna stop taking lessons for a while because, whatever." I love it when people just don't answer your email for like a year or something. I had another blast from the past recently. Probably a lot of you guys don't remember. Don't remember that I used to work doing chess commentary on this site for the internet chess called the Internet Chess Club. This is like the better part of 15 years ago. And there was this guy who used to organize the commentary. I actually did live commentary. Before there was video, we just did like audio commentary and stuff. And the guy from that recently contacted me after not talking to me for like 10 years. He just like disappeared for 10 years. He sends me an email the other day. He's like, "We're talking about starting up a online commentary thing again. Your name came up." I'm like, "Dude, you didn't talk to me for 10 years. Are you serious? You're going to just like appear out of thin air after 10 years? After dissing me?" Fred Rogers. Fred? Tony Rook, this guy. Online chess personality. You mean Fred Wilson? Who's Fred? You're thinking of like Fred Wilson, the bookseller from New York City? What's up here? Anyway, the point was, you can't just like disappear for 10 years and come back and expect like it's a long time, man. Probably. Kasparov has an English coach. Yeah, that's got to be a good racket. Plan, tactics. Well, there's nothing really to see here. Yeah, Tony got Fred involved. I don't know what that was about. I had no relationship to Fred in any way. He wasn't involved in creating this stuff. I just thought it was weird that someone who won't respond to your emails for like 10 years just pops up and expects you to like be happy to work with them again. It's really strange. But I don't know. Maybe I'll answer him. Fly-by-night operators. Alright, so we're taking challenges from the subscribers. Asinode didn't listen. Just challenged me again. He thought I meant time control. No rated. I don't know how to say rated in Spanish. Does anybody know? Alright. Imre. I missed a lot of things. I'm a little bit punch drunk from lack of sleep. There was you and only one other choice, professional commentary. Classificado? Really? You did live in Texas, didn't you? Guess we'll take your word for it. Was it Texas? Where were you? Well, you have to challenge. You suspect that Yasser is unavailable. Oh, Yasser's available. Money talks, Asterbate. You need deep pockets to get Yasser involved. That's always been the case. Danny King's not cheap. I'm cool and cheap. See, that's what makes me attractive. That's what all the girls say. You're looking for cool and cheap. That's me. Yasser's too expensive. I sort of tried to play the Sveshnikov when I was 1200. But Dorian's book, it had too many Dewey Decimal points. And I couldn't really keep up with it. So I gave up on that. Everybody thinks I play the Sveshnikov. Sebe Attila thinks that I play the Sveshnikov too. Once he like forced me, we had like an agreed draw. And he's like, okay, you'll play that line of the Sveshnikov. I said, what are you talking about? I don't even play the Sveshnikov. Oh, I thought you played the Sveshnikov. You know the variation. I was like, what? You play a strange version of classical. Strange version? I think the whole naming of what you're calling what I play being the classical, it's always been for me a little bit weird. Yeah, I guess that's what they call it now. We never really had a name. Basically Sicilian with knight f6 and knight c6. We should call it like... Should we call it like the Four Knights Sicilian or something? That's actually a variation. Another variation. Mr. Slowhand Grind, 300 bits with the Merle Dixon. Chess Rest in Peace cheer. 300 for the Long Forgotten. Not yet a zombie. What about Danny King? Now here we go. Arsenal fan. Christ, dude. You know, it's really not correct to spread like filthy online rumors on my stream, okay? I don't know and I don't want to know. But honestly, like, the secondhand gossip of the pool chess club, dude, like let's not randomly make serious accusations against people. I never heard anything like that in my life. It's like we're going to Bob territory now. Dubious accusations without any sort of grounds. Now I'm going to have to like get some kind of libel suit against my stream. It's Arsenal. Making wild gossip. I think my opponent fell asleep. He must be more sleep deprived than me. Too busy rolling in money. Chess is the thing you want to do if you want to make a lot of money and get really rich. That's what I don't get it. Like, that's the it's really like the paradox of these people who I think are like chess snake oil salesmen. Why did you choose chess as your career if you cared so much about money? Like, it's ridiculous. You know, there's like a million things you can do if you love money. Chess isn't one of them, you know? It's like bizarre. All right. You could become an influencer. I'm a chess influencer. That's my goal. Then I'll get offers to be like a escort. I'll be exploited. He has a chess. He makes so much money, Arsenal fan, that he has like a chess Neverland ranch, right? Is that what you heard? All right. E5 is pretty serious. E6. If I play something like knight g4, my knight can get cut off from the rest of the flock. So I think we have to keep it together. Keep it compact. And hopefully white just overextended himself. Jerry Epstein. Who the heck is Jerry Epstein? It's like Seinfeld's cousin or something. What? Who are we talking about? All right. This knight can't stay on a5 too much longer. Wait, why can't I just take on e5? A7 pawn is hanging close to a5. It's Freudian nervousness about my knight on a5. Rook takes c3. No, the problem with rook takes c3, among other things, is that he can interpose a capture on f6. My a7 pawn is just always an issue. Yeah, I think I ought to just come back. Come back to reality. We're compact. Trash compactor. I mean, I have knight c4, of course. It's probably like the most logical move. But it feels like I'm in trouble on the d file, and I've got a7 hanging. I'm too tired to calculate. Chess in the 90s. Chess in the 90s. Well, there was no video commentary except for, online stuff. I mean, online, like recorded stuff. Masturbate. Like Danny King. Chess-based recorded video. It was Danny King and Maurice who first commentated on ESPN, Okay, so black is fine. What's the best move? Bishop g4, taking on d4, taking on e5. I feel like black has this really strong pent-up spring-like energy here. Ron Henley was never a commentator. He made some videos. You're thinking of Don Henley. No, I always thought Ron Henley was like only notable for being like Karpov's helper or something. I told you guys about the story when I played him, and he played some sort of Karpov novelty. He like made me give him the score sheet after the game. He's like, don't submit this to the tournament. I can't. Karpov can't see it that I played it. His move or something. He didn't say it, but it was in his. He played some line of the Nimzo that he wasn't supposed to play, using up one of Karpov's important novelties to draw me with black. I love how I embellish the stories. I also hallucinated that I can jump my knight to h6. That would be an awesome Park-style trick. The knight that leaps from e8 to h6 in one go. I gotta get this knight off of e8. It's just driving me crazy. It needs to leave e8. How about knight c7? His entire position is justified by that knight on e8, but I don't think he should do this. I thought he could play knight takes e5. Try to trade some pieces. I think he's trying to keep my knight pent up on e8, but I'm not sure if it's worth it. Like totally destroying his structure. I didn't see anything clear at any point. So I end up making like safe moves. White's able to keep this extended pawn on e5 to keep me bottled up. Mr. Coffee, I thought all score sheets had to be submitted to the organizer. Depends on how serious the tournament is. If you play in something like the World Open, I mean, nobody is checking to see if your score sheets are submitted. If you're playing like a small closed tournament, maybe the organizer does, maybe not. This was played in the New York Open, and I think they were supposed to submit the games, but they were more serious about it than most tournaments I've played in. So I looked at knight d4, queen d4, queen d4, rook d4, bishop e5, and he has rook d7 with compensation. Here I thought he has bishop takes c6. I still like black, but it's not that clear. He'll have to take on c6 and take on a7 and pray. Yeah, that's all he can do. There is knight d5, though. Take on a7 and pray. I don't think it's that bad. He lost on time. Exactly. Like, he has to play this. I don't really want to trade queens. It was a decent game. I don't know. I don't really like the way he played it structurally. This has been played, Anand versus Savchenko. Queen e2 is a new move. Seems like a decent game. Yeah, there the engine wanted to play knight g4. I didn't think I could play that because of this, but it's apparently terrible for white. Miscalculation. Mr. Slowhand, thank you for the donation, guys. Please support the stream. Mr. Slowhand, very generous, 300 bits donated. Keep the subscribing going. Last week was a slow week because I was playing in the tournament. We're back to full schedule this week. Playing better. Cooler and better than ever with my new goatee. Say what you want. I've heard it all before. I finished a half point below my expected result, which probably is expected, actually. I would say that's kind of expected, because I haven't played. I allowed a bunch of draws. 2 of them were decent players, but the other 3... I ended up with 4 wins and 5 draws. 2 of the draws I'm okay with. The 3 of them I'm not. One game I should have lost. I was completely lost in one game, which was terrible. Very lucky I didn't lose that. I ended up playing the Pierts. Didn't want to play the Pierts. I tried to play the Alyakin. I should have played d5 on move 2. I just reacted. Alright, well, we'll play the Pierts. This was my first opening. So my tournament, I ended up selling 5 rating points for $75. I won $75 and lost 5 rating points. It's funny though, like in the last round I took a quick draw with black against the winner. If I had tried to beat him, I would have finished. I finished 4th, and if I tried to beat him, I would have finished 4th anyway. It's really funny. I figured it out after the tournament. I wouldn't have even moved up a place. I would have had more points, obviously. It wouldn't have changed even my prize. It was if I lost, I would have gotten nothing. Alright, so old school Pierts here. But I was... Another thing about the tournament that I played in, this is a sharp variation, though it's not supposed to be that good for white. Hikaru has been known to play this. I'm supposed to play knight d7. There's very complicated variations. I think... Who plays this? The engine says it's like nothing, but you have to know the theory really well. No, e5 is not really critical. I think it's much better not to play e5. Bishop d3 is much stronger. But I'm not up on the theory like some people. This is like a cheap sort of tricky line. White's probably equal. I don't know. But there's a lot of ways black can go wrong. But I haven't looked at it in a long time, probably 2 years. And one of my students played it. This guy I was working with for a brief period, and we looked at this a while back. But it's been so long ago, I forget now. I think this is probably the line. Yeah, I mean, if you don't know it, it's dangerous. But anybody who plays the Pierce worth half their salt is going to know what to do here. Just not me. Well, I never really coached a lot of Master as an Arsenal fan. I think that's kind of a specialist field. But I've worked with some people who are over 2,300. I think to coach strong players is like a specialist kind of thing. Not enough of them to go around, like, to make it worthwhile. I don't know how you get into that. It would be rewarding, though, you know, to be like a trainer for a world championship candidate or something. Okay, queen f2. I wish I knew this line. It has to be takes on e5. Queen h4 is the threat. You know what is weird? I had the feeling that they're taking on d6 in some position, because there's some rook e8 check that normally happens. Rook e8 check. Obviously, I'm going to probably have to sacrifice a piece or something here to stop this brutal mate on the h-file. Very possible I went wrong already. What mate? You're funny, mate. I guess I go rook e8. Alright, so that's possible, but... He obviously knows it. But I would caution people against playing this line. Theoretically, it's not as good as bishop d3. In my case, I don't know what I'm doing. But if you play anyone good who plays the Pirch, they're going to know this better than me. It looked like a dead end when we looked at it. I guess I did something wrong. I just remember there was some Elizabeth Pates against somebody game. Yeah, well, you should give that up, Arsenal fan. I've been playing the classical Pierce for years for white. It's useless. Absolutely useless. You might as well just offer a draw. You should play... I mean, it's solid, you know, to a certain level, but you should play maybe some kind of f3 setup. Or the Austrian attack. Pawn on e5? What are you talking about? Arsenal fan, are you talking inverted positions again? You reversing the board? I mean, most times if you play classical Pierce with white with bishop e2, it's basically a quiet system. I mean, there aren't a lot of situations where you can play e5 and get away with it. Didn't Fischer play the Austrian attack, I would assume? It was very popular in his era. Fischer wouldn't have played the classical Pierce. It's not aggressive enough. Bobby liked more topical, kind of critical lines. I don't understand why white isn't going for it here with queen h4. Okay, I mean, I understand what he's doing. He's going to castle queenside. But I still didn't have the greatest answer for that. Other stuff. I have no idea how Gawain Jones had his rook open on the e-file. In these variations, it has to be some sort of exchange on d6. The one game that I saw. So white's going to castle queenside next move. I didn't want to play the Pierce. I would normally play d5 here, which is fine. It's something that I know. What about e4? Looks stupid. Always take. This is just crazy. Queen h4. I expected queen h4 much earlier from my opponent. I guess I could sack my queen if I had to. This bishop coming to c4 looks really dangerous. There were several defenses. I mean, I can always play rook e8, not get mated on the h file right away. That's true. I feel like queen h4 right away at move 12 instead of queenside castling. Yeah, right. That's what I was thinking too. No, it does seem like the best move. I have knight f6 and I have rook e8, so I'm not necessarily getting mated immediately. White has sacrificed like 2 pawns at that point, so I could possibly sacrifice a piece. This looks legitimately dangerous. His time is crazy too. How is he so freaking fast? Arsenal fan, no spoilers. That was close. Wow. How can I never have any threats? It's kind of crazy. I missed mate in 1. What? Dude, think again. Mate in 1. I missed mate in 1. I did. I knew there was something weird going on here. It's embarrassing. This was a terrible game. Terrible, terrible, embarrassing game. Tactically, for both sides. White should be winning. What did I do wrong? So here's the game in question. It's Weiser versus Gawain Jones. I made a terrible mistake, knight c6. See, that's the problem when you don't know the line. Well, at least I knew it was a Gawain Jones game. D takes e5 is mandatory. Now queen f2. How did Gawain Jones get an open e-file in that game? I thought I remembered him playing rook e8 check at one point. So e takes f4 is only played once, even though Stockfish thinks it's the best move. Looks like I'm lost twice. Queen h4 right away. Yeah, what we were talking about. Apparently this is just over. Just over. No, I was going to play knight f6 and sack a piece. This has probably been done. Wife of Hamducci. You have to sacrifice a piece, but you don't have enough for it. It's just a disaster. So, really bad tactics by both sides. Yeah, but on the fly here, I didn't remember. I didn't mean to play the Pierce. I'm sorry. You have to play DE. This is interesting, though. I mean, all those games with e4 and no one played e takes f4. Except for this one game. Maybe the attack is just too strong. It's sort of unbelievable. This looks like kind of important idea. Black can apparently defend this position. It's like new theory. Anyway. Alright, I was just toast. Arsenal fan, DK guy. Alright. What time is it? 12:15. Let's play the Pierce. Now I'm in the mood. Now I know what I'm doing. It's understandable not to play e takes f4. I agree. Of course, like, you look like you're accelerating white's development. Just keep playing an opening I don't know very well. But anyway, there's only one way to learn. My first defense. I gave up playing this when I was like 2100. I had some interesting games in the Pierce at that level as like a candidate master. I think it's not a bad opening, but there was a huge revolution in the Pierce because of what's his name? Chernin, Alexander Chernin, in his book Pierce Alert, which basically massively analyzed c5 against the Austrian in detail. That came out in like early 2000s. Have trips to the hospital to look after your heart? I hope you're joking. After that game. Okay, so in such a scenario, I can take on e5. That's probably good for white. I don't see any reason to panic here. Hopefully, Mr. Slowhand is fine. BF4. BFD. Albert, right? Yeah, he just helped him get a publisher, I think, you know. Albert is like the ultimate snake oil salesman. No, he was a legitimately good player, great player, but he had nothing to do with the book. I mean, nothing to do. It was like all Chernin. But Chernin like lived in Hungary. He probably didn't have connections with the best publisher. He wanted a wealthy, you know, successful publishing company to do it. Maybe he didn't have any connections. So he was living here. Maybe he still lives here, but I don't know anything about. He was a strong player at 2600. He used to play in the Hungarian team championship all the time. Yeah, Albert, all he did for 20 years was like do a chess life column. Probably lived off that alone. And like some rich private students where he was charging some kind of outrageous fee for lessons. I'd only seen Albert in my whole career like play in tournaments like once or twice. He basically retired. He was so successful with his chess business, I guess. So I don't know if white's better here. I mean, I've played the white side of the classical period, so I'm basically pretty unenthused about it. Doesn't really offer white much. But Arsenal fan he's not as, what should we say, jaded as me. He's still optimistic. I think the white's pawn on e5 is cramping, but it's also overextended. And this bishop on g3 is basically a pawn. So it's kind of difficult to give white credit for an advantage. Maybe he's not worse, although either side can misplay this position. Genetic dysfunction. I'm just glad it wasn't related to our game, to our badly played game. Slow hand. I hope that everything's fine for you. But after such a tactically bad game, I thought you could be joking. Situation is a little bit tricky. It's a little bit like playing the accelerated dragon. A similar. This is how I lost with white to Seve Attila in a rapid game where he had 2 minutes and I had 15. I played the white side of a classical Peerts. It was like this. Overextended myself. And then sat there like thinking while he just like made instant moves. It was a B6, same thing. Yes, Arsenal, we can predict all of your moves. The Eternal Optimist. So what are we going to do? Musai. This is my big idea. Free myself from the spatial disadvantage. Trade it off, brother. Now the next move is an interesting question. When he plays well, he plays like a demon. It's not like playing someone on sound. I understand what he's doing, you know? Not this alien chess. With Arsenal, it's kind of logical. You understand what's happening. You can't necessarily prevent it, but you understand what's going on. That's the important thing. All right. Now, what's next? You must leave. I'm sorry. There's no room at the inn. Get out of here. So Hank Azaria is not going to voice Apu anymore. Get out of here and come again. That doesn't mean I can't do it. Where's Infinite Flash Chess? We haven't seen him in forever. One of those games who's best at doing nothing. At least it feels like that. But I think there's actually some sort of something happening. Master of Space. Look at the space he loves. I definitely wouldn't call it nothing. What Arsenal fan is, that's not nothing. He's doing a lot of it. Not easy to play with space. And he just finds the move naturally and quickly. It's pretty impressive. Sometimes you feel like you're playing a GM. There's a queue, and we only have time for maximum 2 more. Maybe 3 games. Probably only 2 at this time control. King e2. Unbelievable. Monstrous. Can you guys see the list of players when I click on it? I just assume that you can. He's even preempting my moves now. I guess we'll have to try this. It almost says knight takes c7. Did he have knight takes c7 last move? I bet he did. Now it doesn't work because my knight's on b8. He missed knight takes c7. Yeah, because his entire focus is on like moving super fast. I'm constantly criticizing people for this, but it's like it's really rampant. I mean, people just play too fast. It's outrageous. They play every game like it's a bullet game. I don't understand it. I don't know if it's because they play too much bullet or they just get nervous or why. But especially in an increment game, you can't depend on winning on time. I mean, you just can't. Oops, I had knight c5 there. So it was a great game by white. Wow. I mean, right up till he missed knight takes c7 and blundered. I think white has a fantastic position. I don't know what I did wrong, as usual. Obviously the master of the Pierts. This position has never been arisen. Never been arisen. This position has... Where has it arisen? Where did we leave book? It's weird. That's bizarre. This is impossible. What? Nobody plays b6 here? I mean, it's possible that Sebi Attila played a6, a4, b6 against me. But it's basically the same idea. Usually white's castled too. I mean, I don't see any problem with this. So this has actually been played with the a6 and a4 in by a number of good players. Mamedov, Mikhail Gurevich, Joel. But I don't see anything wrong with doing b6. It's like the best move according to the engine. That's insane. I just invented a novelty. No, it's been played. b6. Castles. So Arsenal immediately launched into e5. My argument here is that white is overextended. Stockfish thinks I should play knight c6 maybe. No, this is correct. D takes e5. D takes e5. Now knight c6. Queen d5, queen c8, and black is better. You're overextended. It's very easy to do. But actually b6 needs to be explored. I mean, I think this is a perfectly reasonable way for black to play. I don't understand what's wrong with it. That's the problem with the classical Pierts. Black can choose from a variety of setups. Alright, DK guy. We've got time for at least 2 more games. No, enough Pierts for today. I'm going to put that back in the skeleton closet. With the 5-minute games, I have more time, but with the 7+3, solid fianchetto. I don't know what to do anymore. Let's try something interesting. C5, if D5, B5. Maybe it's not a good move though. The critical question is D5. If D5, B5, A4 concerns me, white's probably just better there. That's why I didn't play this in a tournament game this week. Okay, I mean, C4 is just normal. Unless you can do something fancy here, like D5. Knight takes D4, knight C6, knight C3, mainline English, symmetrical. Everybody pointed out you missed knight takes C7, Arsenal. I allow that. That was a huge blunder. course, I only had my increments. But I thought you played it confidently and well. Okay, so this is a bit unusual. Queen h4. I usually, when I'm trying this, I would typically have done it after knight c3. Black needs to develop as fast as possible. If d5, presumably, maybe white has rook d1. So they might try maybe like bishop g4, bishop h6 and knight g5. I don't know why I'm saying bishop g4. Knight c3 again will transpose. No, it won't, because the knights are on the board. These are usually exchanged on d4. This is slightly different to what I'm used to. Interesting. I doubt this is good for white, though. Even just knight g4. Does seem like a bit of a waste of time. Maybe my best bet is just to avoid doing anything. The idea would be like knight g5, knight c3, knight d5, and mate on h7. I don't see how it's easy to force that. Maybe queen a5, queen h5 is the simplest. Although he has knight g5. Feels like there should be something for black. But what is it? If you play knight g5 there, what is it? What do I do? It's too late to... Yeah, that's critical. What am I going to do if he plays knight g5? Might be a serious problem. Black is equal here. Missed his window of opportunity. Now I'm very confident black is fine. Queen h5, knight h5, bishop g7, king g7, knight d5, rook b8 or something. Actually, there's no need to play rook b8, I guess. We should be equal. I mean, you might want to play rook b8. I don't see the necessity. Maybe just knight f6. Necessity. Necessaries. Is there any real benefit in forcing white to play b3? What is my knight doing here? On h5. If you don't know what to do, improve your worst piece. That's the classic. Rook b8. Maybe I can play for a6 and b5. 5.5 out of 10 with 1 round to go for Mr. Coffee in his Lone Wolf tournament. A lot of pieces exchanged here. With all the pieces on the board, I would think white's space advantage is significant, but with the amount of exchanges that have taken place, minor piece and a queen, it feels like the board is empty, doesn't it? Isn't that weird? Doesn't it feel like there's a lot more exchange here than just a queen and a minor piece? Isn't that strange? It just feels totally empty. It looks like at least 3 pieces were exchanged. It feels like. You're just biased, Arsenal. Black is more compact. A6, knight A4, knight D4. A6 is okay. Was that the first game in your study, Mr. Coffee? Now who has the bishop on the long diagonal? Bishop F3. I think I like this. But he plays knight D5 now. Oh snap. Oh no. He plays knight D5. No, I win a pawn. For a freaking out minute, I was like, oh my god, for a freaking minute. I thought he had knight D5. That would be brutal. Might even be the best move. You could sack a pawn like that. Sack a ponda. Alright, what's the plan? Now he's not threatening it still. I mean, E4 would radically change the position, man. Asking for it. Okay. I have to consider E5 even. Tough position, it looks equal. Knight D5, bishop takes D5. Wow, maybe that's good for white. I might have just walked into it. Wow. Alright. Looks like I have to do this. Epaulets. Epaulet mate. But I've got B5 now. Guess I could just play D5 there. G5. Wait till I play G5. That's a funny position. Undermining him on both sides. Symmetrical breaks. could be problematic. Troglomatic. How about this rook on f6? It's seen better days. Wow. Pretty good game. All right. I think this is the last game, guys. Easy to say. Thanks everybody for challenging me. Good game. Not a very exciting game tactically, but it was fun. I play this boring stuff with white too against the English. You know, that English with white it does get really boring. It's still kind of an interesting game from a strategic standpoint, I would think. The end game is interesting too. I might have been better there. I've got to go, guys. Tomorrow night is our Blitz Arena. Hosting a Blitz Arena here on lichess at 6:30 p.m. CET. Sorry? This is the C3 Sicilian is the Alipin. That's what he played. 2C3. That's some people refer to as the Alipin. It is a main line against the Sicilian. Nothing I did. I mean, it's been C3 Sicilian since move 2, standard line. There are different variations based on the bishop being on D3 and E2. No, but the interesting thing last game, DK guy, was what if you had played knight G5 when I played queen A5? Did you have serious threats? Am I in trouble? If you don't just automatically play knight C3 and allow queen H5? So there's, even though it did seem like a boring game, there were some interesting questions there. Your move order in the opening, the end game, and then that position where you could really try to kill me with knight to g5. Lexicon. Old and lazy. Sounds familiar. Well, I've got to go get a rest after this, guys. Lay down, get my wheelchair out, and have a nap or something. This is a rare move, bishop g5. I've had a couple of blitz games where people did like bishop f6 and traded pieces, but that really shouldn't be the right idea for white here. Yeah, this doesn't seem very dynamic. Queen f4, queen d5, queen d8. What do we do? This retards my development. But his plan is to take anyway. You never want to try to trade pieces in an IQP position when you're playing with the IQP. Yeah, if he trades the d-pawns, it's an evaporation station. Ideaphobia, I don't know, man. I think that it doesn't matter. Knight f6 and d5 are both not easy to equalize for black. The theoreticians will tell you yes, but I'm not sure how easy it is in practice. Looks like white, oof, I don't really like this move, but I thought he could have played d5 there, objectively. This is his moment to try to equalize. Maybe he felt it wasn't. I think now white is slightly worse. Some people might like such a position. Still, it's very hard to break white's position. I think black equalized comfortably. Yeah, DK guy. So I take on h6 and you take on h6. What do I do to like get out of the bind that I'm in? And I can't just sit there with my knight on f6 guarding h7 against mate for a long time. If I could trade queens, I would have a good position. This game too. Why rook fc8? It allows me to play king f8 and lose a queen to check. Knight d7. It's a good question. Why do I feel gravitated toward playing rook fc8 rather than rook ac8? Well, I didn't want the fourth to remain there. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I guess I have no choice, really. He has a nice knight and queen, but there's not enough pieces on the board to conduct an attack anymore. Like rook e1, rook e3, rook g3. I mean, what's your plan? Still, white's position is pretty solid. Yeah, I avoided the knight fork. That's the point. I mean, he couldn't play at the move before because I had queen g6 or queen g5. He stopped that with queen g4. If my other rook went to c8, he has knight d7. This also protects d4, so it makes a lot of sense. This is a stupid move. I mean, I probably should play rook c2. Much more active. I'm being paranoid. It's 95, 97 again. No problem. But it's just the smallest advantage in the endgame. I'm not sure if it's enough to win. White doesn't have a lot of ways to do anything. Clearly. You might be able to hold on here. The idea of knight d3. Not sure about this. It may not be enough. My king is nowhere near the center. My pawns are... I have 3 pawns fixed on the wrong color. It's probably just a draw. I have rook d2. No, I'm not concerned about knight b4. I'm clearly better there. His only chance was rook c1, but then rook d2. Well, I mean, it's like he's still got a chance, but his best chance. If I should take with the pawn here. Not easy to win. I can't believe this extra pawn isn't winning. At the very least, it has to be a key tempo. He's clearly going to run out of moves first. Yeah, I mean, just f4 wins, doesn't it? Maybe a6 is cleaner. You can't trade rooks, clearly. In a king and pawn game, into a king and pawn game. But you have very good chances to draw in the rooking game without trading rooks. Obviously. Pawn advantage. Okay, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for playing. Thanks everybody who's supporting the stream, for subscribing, whatnot. I've got to go, guys. Have a great time. I'll see you on Tuesday for Blitz Arena with Ponda. Bye-bye.